Greetings, everyone. Master Frustration with a Jimmy. Greetings, everyone. This is Larry from Rushing Forward Adventures back to you. Well, I'm sitting here letting my shop warm up a little bit after starting the kerosene heaters. We're back on the S10 Jimmy today. Little disillusioned, dismayed, and flabbergasted. We test drove it yesterday, and I, in a previous video, showed where it was missing and bucking a little bit and so forth. And the engine sounded fine other than that, and it'd run just fine at idle. Well, we pulled it in here, and I got to looking at spark plug wires, and the wires were originals, and several of them had been scraped clear of their coating or chewed or whatever. So, well, I decided to buy some spark plugs and some spark plug wires. Now, you can see the spark plugs all look almost exactly alike. They've been firing pretty good. They're 41932, which is no longer in production as far as AC spark plugs are concerned. They've been replaced by another number, but at any rate, so even though I don't know that those were original spark plugs, they've definitely been in there for a while, considering the rust that's on some of them. And of course, the wires were the original Packard wire, so thought, well, we'll change the spark plug wires and the spark plugs. Well, one particular spark plug is really a pain to get to. That's the number 3 spark plug on the driver's side. You, of course, to get to any of them, you got to go through the wheel well. That's the easiest way I found to get to the spark plugs. And, well, we got that new one in there, out, the old one's out. And the reason why number 3 is so difficult is because the steering shaft runs right by the spark plug hole, so you got to use a really short 5/8 spark plug socket and get in there and basically turn it with a wrench, because spark plug sockets have a hex head on them. At any rate, that's beyond the point, but we get that all done, and while we had it up in the air and the tires off of it, we went ahead and greased the front end. And then we found a vacuum hose that runs to the transfer case, which is for the actuator for the front drive axle. Was split in two, so I went ahead and fixed that, and we let her back down, and I went ahead and pulled the cap and rotor off. And lo and behold, those are pretty much brand new, so apparently somebody was trying to track that bucking problem down prior to me purchasing this vehicle. But that all being said, cap and rotor look good, so we put the wires on, and we finally got it all done and snapped back together with the intake air hoses and all that stuff back on it, and started it up, and lo and behold, we got a freaking, sounds like a lifter clatter and a miss. And I'm not gonna start it up again until I make sure that Because one thing I didn't do was compare the new plugs with the old plugs as far as reach is concerned. Which reach is the depth of which the spark plug goes into the cylinder. That's my fault. I should have compared them, because I went to an E3 spark plug, which I've had really good luck with. And what it calls for, and I've looked it up several times, is E3.62, which I had 6 of them, and each box is labeled E362. So, now whether one was box strong or not, I didn't pay attention, because I didn't look at the new spark plugs as much as I probably should have. And that's the only thing we've done. And the reason I don't know why the lifter started clattering, and the 4.3 liter, the spark plugs go in straight in, and they will, if they're too long, would actually make contact with the valve. But it's only one of them, because there's only one miss. And I did go ahead and hook up my scan tube momentarily while it was running, just to see if I could figure out which one was misfiring. Now, I understand it's not an individual coil pack, so there's a little bit to be desired as far as determining the actual misfire, but it's showing it was showing number 4, which is on the passenger side of the motor, center 1, with an intermittent miss. And, but then it stopped missing there, or stopped showing a miss on the computer, but it still had a clatter and it still had a miss. So I thought, well, I'll let it run for a few minutes and just see if it comes out of it, because, you know, it might have been that the valve was open, and over a period of the time that we had it working on it, the lifter might have compressed. That means the oil bled out of the lifter. Now, if that be the case, and then that was what would happen, within a few seconds or 30 seconds or so of it running, that lifter should have pumped back up because of the oil pressure. And according to the gauge, it had 40 psi oil pressure. Well, alright. To my dismay, that noise did not go away, and neither did the miss. So, sometimes you question your life's choices and your really has an effect on your attitude. I didn't go ahead and film any more last night just because it likely would not have, well, I know it would not have been YouTube appropriate. Some of the stuff or some of the items being said and some of the frustration being shown was not probably YouTube appropriate. I've had lifters collapse on me before, but not normally in this manner. They normally give you an indication that they're going to fail because they'll clatter at startup. This did not. This thing has been idling just fine since I bought it. No noise, no nothing. And the only thing we did was change the spark plugs and the wires, and now I got a lifter clatter. And a miss. I thought at first maybe I got a crossed wire, and it was the tick was the popping back through one of the valves. I checked the passenger side because that's the side it sounds like it's coming from, but if you that flat distributor cap, it's a counterclockwise rotation, but you'll notice these go from one side to the other, so it gives you if it's popping through the exhaust, it may be from one of the other sides that's popping back through, because it fires two cylinders at the same time normally. I don't know. It is got me. I'm still frustrated this morning, even after I got some sleep. Just disillusioned, and because this is going to be my toy to take to Attica to have some fun with. But until that time, I was going to have to have one of my daughters drive it, so that I could get her vehicle in here to see what's going on with it. Sorry about this camera. I don't know why it keeps doing this, but for some reason it says something about the formatting of the SD card, which is the same SD card I've been using it since I bought it. Any rate, that's what's going on today. As soon as the shop gets a little bit warmer. Yesterday was a beautiful day. It was in the 60s. Unusual for February in Indiana, but last night it dropped down pretty cool, and as you can see my breath in here in the shop. Yesterday we had the doors open and no heaters on. Today I got to have the heaters on, and it's still cold in the shop. And it'll take a while for these little kerosene heaters to warm this up a little bit. I will keep you posted what I find. I will try to avoid recording anything that might be misconstrued as anger or frustration, because this is supposed to be a positive channel. I'm trying to hold my positivity. It's a little hard at the moment. Okay, folks, I'm gonna let you go for now, and I gotta smile because otherwise I'd cry. I'll talk to you later. Well, folks, I'm back. Well, we ran a compression test on this thing, and it all seemed to be all right. We got to looking when we changed the spark plug, because apparently the number 3 spark plug, which is the pain in the butt spark plug, we didn't get in tight. It was finger loose, which you can't see down in there. But the only tick that I'm hearing now is a little bit of an injector tick, or it might be, which this is a different kind of pump than in most. But also that pulley there is rusty. All the pulleys are rusty, but some of that's toward the front of the motor, so I think that pulley is slapping on that belt a little bit. But there's no more miss, and it's a lot quieter than it was. So there was one cylinder, number 4, that had a little bit lower compression than the rest, but still all right as far as what I would consider. It was just a little bit, it was about 25 psi lower than the highest one. 25 to 30 psi lower than the highest one. But that's assuming that we got that tester in the gauge into the head as good as we did. The other thing is we couldn't check number 3 because the steering shaft being in the way. But the clatter and the ticking and so forth is gone. Like I said, this is the way the ignition fires and so forth. It can travel. And at any rate, I'm happy that we got rid of the mist now. Seems to be running better. It does still have a little bit of lifter clatter, but not near what it was. Not to the point that I'm concerned with it. I mean, obviously I need to change the oil. It has a brand filter on it. But what it is and what I plan on doing with it, I can live with a little bit of lifter clatter, which may actually come out of it. So, and again, I'm not positive that some of it's not belt flap on it. I'm going to shut it off and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You see how rusty this pulley is? That could be slapping on it because of the tensioner. That there's one spot that's a little higher than the rest on that pulley. The bearing's good because I spun it before I put a new belt on it. But that may be actually slapping the belt because some of that ticking actually sounds like it's coming up here instead of back in here where the lifters are. And of course the style of injector pump that they use in these is a little different, and they just about all of them, even my van with the 4.3 has a little bit of a tick to it, and that's just common for that motor to a certain degree. But at any rate, that's where we're at. I'm a lot better feeling about it now than I was. I was really concerned. I'm a lot happier now, knowing that I know I didn't film last night because I was really annoyed, but that tick was loud, almost to the point it sounded like a collapsed spring because it was so loud. But that being said, you know, part of it was our own mistake. We didn't get to make sure that hard to reach spark plug, which we thought was tight, but when he went to take it out, he could turn it by hand, and when he first put a socket on it to check it, it was moving up and down, so that's how loose that was. So we got to put that, I want to put that boot back on the steering thing.
Oh yeah, well I can do that before with this in a way, because I can get to it down here.
All right, well, anyway, I wanted to bring you back up to date. we're gonna slap it back together a little bit here, and then probably take another test drive in it. I'll bring you back when we do our test drive. Thanks for watching. Well, greetings folks, I'm back like a bad dream. All right, here's what's going on. We get it all back together and the tick was back. The clatter. I don't know what's going on here, because we back it out, shut it off, restart it, and it's not ticking anymore. As you can see, it's carrying sufficient oil pressure. I mean, I know I need to get oil and change the oil, but we're gonna give this thing a test drive. I want to see if the surging is gone. So I got Steven driving. Hi Steven. I got my tester hooked up because I want it, because we got an intermittent ABS light too. So which, as you can see, they're off right now, and so I got it on data display here to see what we can find out about stuff as we're going. So if you want to take off here, Stephen, we'll but here, see, the ticking is gone. It's not present. Light on the throttle, dude. Well, as you can see, the wheel speeds are working. Well, we'll head north here on 13 and drive it a little bit. And I'm just hoping. This is an emotional roller coaster, because I'm not sure what's going on with this tick. Comes and goes. The speedometer in this is reading about the same, so that's good. Like I said, once you get up to about 55 is when it was really getting bad. Seem to be bucking. Bring it up to about 60, and instead of turning around here, we're going up another mile or so. surging. See the, I don't know if you can see it, but the tachometer, see how it's jumping up and down? So, we still have a surge. Thing I haven't done is check the fuel pressure, like the fuel pump. But I think that would be in the trim. Well, here folks, I'm just contemplating, so I will bring you back when we get more information. Thanks for watching. Greetings, everyone. I took a little break from the Jimmy and brought the Trailblazer in to repair it. Parts had arrived, so I thought I'd put them in. Next two videos are on it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy this. Well, greetings, folks. Like Bad Dream, we're back. All right, here's the problem is, I don't know if you can see that on that thermostat or not. What it is that seal on that thermostat is tore up. Well, when the thermostat's trying to open, it's actually catching on this cage right here, okay? So it's not opening. So that's the reason why I had a cold lower hose, even though the coolant temp was 210 degrees, and the top of top of the radiator was 200 degrees. Like I said, it didn't overheat while I was test driving it. It was just running a little warm. But that is definitely the culprit for the running hot problem.
That one's not made like that.
If you'll notice this in here, which is also a Delco. That was a Delco, by the way. Made in Mexico. Well, the car probably was too, for that matter. At any rate, so before we stick this all back together, we got to clean the surface on the where those bolts are down there on the side of the block. We got to clean that a little bit. There's a little bit of corrosion there, and I got to go get some distilled water to mix with the new coolant I purchased. And I found a broken I don't know if you can see that crack in that. Well, that goes to the fuel pressure regulator, which is right there from the intake. It just runs down to there, and both ends are split and one's cracked, or one's cracked in the corner and the other one's split. So I'm gonna go see if I can get a new line too. If nothing else, I'll just because it's 2 different size vacuum lines, so I'll have to get a splice and just run vacuum line to it. At any rate, that's where we're at on this one. Getting closer, and we'll go from there. We'll be back. Thanks for watching. Well, folks, I'm sure you can't see me, but we got the Trailblazer going here, and I'm not sure how to turn the light.
Hey, there's a button right here. You just push up on the light.
Oh, hey, there we go. I got light. Can't see me. See me now? All right, well, we got the thermostat changed and the Trailblazer all back together. Got Steven in the back, my daughter driving, and we're just driving it to get up to temperature to make sure that thermostat's opening. Make sure we get all the air out of the cooling system, and keep an eye on the temperature. And so we got to drive it around a little while. Well, they must have had something. Well, somebody must have had something going on at the lodge tonight. There's a bunch of them there. Not this road, the next road.
The next road?
Yeah. This is...
Oh, by the school thing?
Yeah, this goes right by the north side of the school.
No,
Fairground Road. Well, when you called it County Line Road, I didn't think that was the name of it. Oh well. The temperature gauge is your lower right one. It should be getting...
Got 210.
At 190.
Yeah, it's below 210 at the moment, so we need to drive it around until it... We either see it go up and then drop quick, or we see it maintain about 210.
Okay.
That tells me that the
I think he broke the light back there, Daddy.
oh, is the light back in you? I can shut it off.
No, not your light, his light.
Turn this light on back here to figure out how they turn it on, and then we'll shut off.
Timed out. Yeah, isn't it neat how that, I don't know if you can see all the colors, but how that JVC radio changes all different colors there. Alright, so far the gauges look like they're doing pretty good. We do already have heat coming in, just I got it shut off so I can get it to temp. So the only air that's coming through is what's just blowing through the vents from the where we're driving. Are those volunteer fire department lights over there? They look like they're blue. Keep going.
Oh, those are red and blue. That's cop.
I don't know. Bring it up to about 50.
That's a cop. Over there.
92 thermostat in it, so that's a good thing, I would think.
That ain't a cop, those are lights.
Those are Christmas lights.
Yeah.
It's not Christmas no more. Well, all right. Well, I guess they're green and red and blue, so they're just all different colors. But those are Christmas lights, so. Well, folks, looks like this is going to be somewhat of an uneventful trip. So, I'll let you know how things go, and if anything comes up and happens or whatever, I will bring you back so you can watch the excitement. We have kind of stepped away from the Jimmy for a little bit until we get this going, and then I got to work on my daughter's car, and then we'll get back on the Jimmy. But for now, have a good one. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Well, greetings, everyone. Bringing you up to date on the Trailblazer. Everything's doing fine. Daughter's been driving it back and forth to work for the last 4 days, and everything's been great. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. More to come on the Jimmy. Thank you.